Today we're going to talk about what kind of cell trays to use for starting your seeds. The answer really depends on your situation and more specifically what you're growing. I'm going to show you my system. I use a system with three main components, starting with the bottom tray. This tray has no holes, that's key, and is fairly sturdy. So this is going to hold water so that you can bottom water your seedlings. Second component is a second tray, but this one has holes. I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, there's holes in this one to allow drainage. And the purpose for this one not only is to allow drainage, but so that you can remove all of your cell trays all at once in case you need to empty that water, in case you put too much water in or the water's been sitting there too long and it's stagnant, maybe getting moldy and you need to change it. So you got bottom tray, middle tray, and then your third component is the cell tray that you actually put your plants in, or sometimes they call them flats. So this will hold all your flats. You can see I've got an example of one right here that's completely full. Now this holds 72 spots for different plants. The other setup that I use is one with bigger pots. So instead of these really small ones, one that holds a much larger pot. I'll show you that right here. Here it is. This one holds 32 as opposed to 72. So the drawback obviously is you have less plants, but the benefit is you have a bigger pot, so it's less transplanting. So I'm liking this method a lot better right now. For example, I have this little tomato plant here, and if this tomato plant was in one of these little cells, you know, these little tiny ones, it would not be happy. And I'd probably have to get ready to start transplanting it. But with a bigger pot, you can keep it in here longer. And with tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants, which is what I'm using this system with, the bigger pots, you need to keep them in the pots longer because you can't put them in the ground too soon. Whereas the smaller cell trays are probably better for plants that you can get into the ground earlier in the season, like lettuce, kale, and greens, stuff like that. So I'm really liking this new system. The other thing with this new one is the bottom tray is not as deep. So it's actually easier to lift out the middle tray, see how much water you have in there, and replenish if needed, or if you have too much, empty some of it out. So that's the system I'm using. I'm really liking this tray with the lower bottom and the bigger pots.